Do you see this? Okay? Take a look at it. Just looks like the layout of the fight card. Say that again, please. It just looks like the layout of the fight card, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It's not. It's not only that, okay? Do you see this sheet right here? Okay? Me, this guy, the guy you're listening to right now, the guy you're watching, the guy that you're cringing at right now with the sweater vest. I made this. And I make these every main numbered event. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, why? This is already available. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me walk you through what this is. And before we walk through this, and if you get to a point in this explanation where you say, I would like to have this, well, guess what? It is available for you to download and print off for free. I have a link in the description. You click the Google Document Drive folder link. Look at all those keywords. Click the link, okay? It'll take you to this. You can download it and you can print it off. This is my own custom-made fight prediction sheet. I make these for every single fucking main number event, and I want to promote them right off the bat. So let's just get right into this scarnoople. I'm not doing my fight predictions yet, but I need to show you what this is and what this entails. Okay? So it is a full fight prediction sheet that you can use for yourself or with friends or whoever, or if you just want to, whether you want to actually bet or just fuck around, and have fun predicting who's going to win each fight throughout the night, this is the sheet for you. Everything's laid out on one sheet. And let me show you what we got going on here. Normal card layouts that you would just find online only have the picture of the fighter and their names. And maybe their weight class, but that's it. That's all there is available. This has everything you could possibly want. All right, and I improve on them every single week or every single lead up to the main number event. So let's look at this. We got the early prelims, and then the main card, all right? So let's just start at the prelims. Look what we got here. So I'll just zoom in even more. Don't mind this green circle. That's for later. Okay? So look what it shows you. It's got the two fighters, a picture of both the fighters. It's got their names. It's got their Vegas betting odds. It's got the weight class bout. It's got the number in which the fight is in. This is the first fight of the night. That's the second fight of the night. It's got their ranking along the side here. Win, lose, draw. I've also recently included their nickname here, so you can see that as well. It's got the name of their country plus the flag of their country. And last but certainly not least, the ranking goes right here. This literally has every single fucking thing you could ever need in order to predict who you think is going to win. Okay? So these are great for you to have. Print off a bunch of copies, because when you have UFC nights at your place and you invite people over, you're going to have a bunch of people who don't know what the fuck they're watching or what the fuck is going on. But if you print off a bunch of these sheets and hand them out to those people, they're going to have more fun throughout the night. Because now they can make bets on who they think is going to win with actual fucking credentials to base it off of. They'd be like, oh, the African Savage, he's a minus 600 favorite. Maybe I'll vote for him. But wait, maybe his fight record is not as good as his other guys, There's things to look at. There's things to make it interesting. Okay, so basically when you print these off, all you got to do is just check off, vote for who you think is going to win, all right? And then whoever wins, you just check off the win box. And if it's a draw, you check off draw. Isn't that cool? Dude, I'm telling you, if you want these, they're in the description. Or it's in the description. Download it, print them off. I make them every single main number event. I always will, and I will forever for the rest of my life. Okay, well, let's let's go into the fight predictions, and then we'll end this shit. First fight of the night. Don't know how to pronounce his name. Nzechukwu versus Brzeski. We've both seen these guys recently, specifically the African Savage we saw on 308. He fought that big boy who broke his ankle before the fight even started. That guy is huge, dude. But he won against him, so now he's fighting this guy. I was a fan of the African Savage during 308. Although he did win, he won against a guy who, call it as you will. You could say the guy's a legend in the sport, but the guy he fought didn't look good. So I don't think that was a very gratifying win against him. So I'm going to have to go with the Poland guy. I've seen this guy before. Not too familiar with him, but I'm voting for him. And Gouda versus Hooper. Look at this juxtaposition here. When I was making this, I was like, oh my God, this guy looks like a fucking child. Hooper looks like a child compared to Gueda, however you say his name. And this guy, the Carpenter, this guy's been in the game for a long time. He's had a lot of fights. Just as many as like Jim Miller. God, look at these two together though. He looks like a fucking child compared to him. So fights like these where it's like such a major juxtaposition. Like if you didn't know who these guys were, and if you were just to see these guys on the street about to fight outside of the UFC, you'd be like, oh, the Carpenter, 100%. He's going to kill this kid. But that might not be the case in this situation. He's an up-and-comer, Hooper. This guy's, for sure about to retire soon. There's no way he's going to fight that much longer. So I might have to go for Hooper on this one. Give him a chance. Chisa versus Griffin. Don't know either of these guys. I think I might know. Well, I might have seen these guys before. I'm gonna go. Fuck. I'm just gonna go for Griffin. Fuck it. And then we've got. Hold on, let me shut this off for a second. Van versus Durden, custom made, the Fearless. I've seen this guy before, but this guy's ranked, so that's something you got to take into consideration as well. But he is the underdog. So see, these are things that casuals who don't pay attention to UFC, they'll have that to consider. They'll be like, well, this guy's the favorite, but this guy is ranked, but he is the underdog. He has more fights, but this guy has less losses. So that makes it fun for the people who don't actually know what's going on. They actually can make their decision a little easier. But for me, I was initially going to go for Van. Maybe I should just go with my gut instinct and keep it with Van. No, I'm going to go for Durden. My gut instinct isn't always right with this stuff. Okay, now these two, Weidman and Anders, they were supposed to fight on 309. Okay? But your boy here, he got sick or something, and they had to just cancel the fight. So they stuck it on here. But I'm going for Weidman, just because I know Weidman and I like Weidman. But look at this. They have a very similar fight record, too. There's only one loss difference between the two. And they're both not ranked. They're both from the States. And they're also fighting at catchweight, which I thought was interesting. Catchweight is still something I don't really understand why that has to be a thing. It's not like they have to make this decision last minute, or maybe they did. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe there's probably a bunch of aspects, reasons why someone would fight catch weight. I'll look it up eventually. Brown versus Battle. This one I'm stoked for. I just started looking into this Brown guy. It's always funny when a black guy has the last name Brown. But I just started looking into him, and he seems like a legit fucking cool guy. I don't really know Battle, but honestly, they both seem pretty fucking sick. But I'm gonna go for Rude Boy, because sometimes I'll listen to fighters and just how they talk and communicate, and I love the way this guy talks and the way he thinks about things. And that's a huge aspect to take into consideration when you're voting. This fight here is controversial because a lot of people think this should be on at least the main card because it's Aljamain. You know? Former title holder, recently, well, not near recently, lost the title. He won his fight on UFC 300, I believe. I think it was 300. Or I don't even know if he won, but he was for sure on 300. And so people are like, he's a recent title loss, so he should be on the main card. But then other people were saying, like, well, hey, he's on the prelims at least. So this just makes the whole card more interesting. This makes it so that even if you were kind of on the fence... Oh, fuck, I got my black guys mixed up. I was thinking of Garimbo here when I was talking about Brown. Ah, shit. But anyway, let's get back to Aljamain here. So Aljamain, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, this just makes it more of an appealing card because it's like, okay, if I was on the fence about this, at least I get a really nice card on the prelims. You know, if you have the ESPN pass, you get to watch that essentially for free anyway. So it's like, and either way, they're getting paid the same, whether they're on the main card or the prelims, they get paid the same. So it's like, not a big deal. But hey, this Russian guy, he's a higher rank than Aljamain right now. And he's also got a clean record. And he's Russian. Aljamain may be on his downward spiral. He doesn't really seem to be focused on fighting anymore. He's focused on his music. So I think I'm going to have to go for the Russian boy. All right. So I think, okay, I'm going to go back to Brown and Battle here. I think I am going to go for Battle. I got my black guys mixed up. I'm going for Battle, and I meant to go for Garimbo over here. That's what I meant to happen. My bad. Okay, so then we got Reyes versus Smith. Fucking, oh. By the way, I kind of just glossed over Luqui versus Garimbo. Super excited for this one as well. This whole prelim card is fucking fantastic. I don't really know this Luqui guy, but Garimbo, beautiful man. I'm going to see this guy excel. Now, of course, we got Reyes versus Smith. Two fucking icons. Classic fucking icons in the sport. This is another tough one for me. I don't know. My gut's telling me Smith, but then my mind is telling me no. Dude, I don't know. Dude. The only really determining factor, you know, like Anthony Smith's been in the game for so long. I think I'm going to go for Reyes. On that one. Okay, another banger right here. Okay, so this Korean Superboy, Chow, if I'm not mistaken, he had to quit the UFC for about 2 years to join the fucking South Korean military. I don't know if it was like mandatory or what, but he left to join the fucking military and do some intense like combat training. And now he's back in the UFC to fight again. I think he had to escape or some shit. I might be wrong on that, but for sure he left and went into the military. So he's back. But then we've got the Train, which I don't really know a lot about, but people are saying he's not one to sleep on either. But I'm going for the South Korean. Okay? Now, another fucking banger, dude. Another banger. We've got Bryce Mitchell, fucking Thug Nasty, versus Crone Gracie. I think that's his name. Okay. So whenever you hear the word Gracie, you're like, okay, already a legend. I don't care who they are, how their fight style is, whatever. As soon as you hear the word Gracie, you're like, okay, I'm all in. All right, because the name Gracie basically made the UFC. And I mean, the Gracies are just icons in general. All right? But for those who don't know, the very first UFC fight ever was against a Gracie. I can't remember the first name, but it was a Gracie. Okay? And the Gracies basically demonstrated that when you put all aspects of martial arts together, jiu-jitsu comes out on top. And he demonstrated, I don't have to hurt my opponent. I can get him on the ground and tangle him up, and he will never, ever be able to attack me. I will always have the advantage. All right? And then over the years, like, the name Gracie has just been iconic. Substantially. Okay? So when there's a Gracie fucking family member involved in any sort of combat sport, specifically UFC, it's hard not to vote for him. But this guy's fairly new into combat sports in general. He's only got a 5-2 record. And his last fight, people didn't really like his performance. And when you watch it, his performance wasn't that great. And he didn't live up to the name. And when he talked about it, he said it was mostly because of the fact that he listened to people telling him that he needs to focus more on his ground game because his name is Gracie. And he disagrees. He thinks, well, because I am a Gracie, even though I am a Gracie, I don't need to focus my efforts on the ground. I know I'm better at striking. So he's kind of like an outlier in the Gracie family. He's like, he's stepping out of that fucking that threshold and being like, yeah, I'm a Gracie, but I don't need to do what they all did. I'm doing my own thing. So I'd be happy to see him win, but Bryce Mitchell, solid dude. By the way, I didn't even mention this. Bryce Mitchell could be one of the fucking great entertainers that could bring the fucking UFC to Netflix. The guy is fucking wacky in all the best ways. And I don't need to get into specifics. Just look up any video of Bryce Mitchell. You'll be like, oh my God, yeah, this guy's entertaining. Now, I want to see Bryce Mitchell come back from that knockout from Josh Emmett, so I'm voting for Bryce Mitchell. If you haven't seen that knockout, go watch that right now. After this video, go watch Bryce Mitchell versus Josh Emmett. That knockout, brutal. Okay? Brutal. Fucking violent convulsions, brutal. Okay? Okay, Cyril Gane versus Volkov. I do want to see Cyril Gane win. So we're going to put it there. And then co-main event, you already know I'm going with Ian Gary. I already said that. Oops, I need to have another one of these. And then for the main event, I'm going for Asakura. Bada boom, bada bang. All right. Here is the full sheet. If you want to see my picks, if you want to base my picks off of any of your decisions, there's the full sheet. All right.
Watch this full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast by clicking the link in bio.